Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be trying out new products. These are from Rimmel London. If you guys are new to the channel, hi, my name is Ken. I do beauty, lifestyle type content on this channel. If you guys are into that stuff, hit the subscribe button, and without further ado, let's dive right into this video. Okay, so this is Rimmel London's latest release, and this is again the Kind and Free range. So I have got a couple of foundations, couple of concealers, their pressed powders, and their mascara. Now, to be completely honest, I'm not really familiar with the range. I don't really know too much about it, so I just had to quickly look up online what this range is about, and all I can tell is it's more environmentally friendly, it's vegan, it's supposed to be kind and gentle on your skin as well. So I think if you guys have very sensitive skin, this might be something to look into. It doesn't say that it is specifically formulated for sensitive skin, but you might want to give it a go and see if it does work for you as well. So let's start off first with the foundation. So as you guys can see, I've got two shades here, and according to the website, at least Chemist Warehouse website, there's 12 shades from what I can see, which isn't too bad because it's a skin tint, so I don't imagine this is going to give me a whole lot of coverage, but who knows, we'll see. I am going to go away from my normal routine using a sponge and doing my colour correction because it's supposed to be a skin tint, so I'm not going to go too crazy with it. But what I will do is go ahead and prime. So I'm going to be using this one from Australis. This one is the primer, the original. I was trying to find a Rimmel London option, but the ones that I have are a matte version and a radiance version, so I don't want anything that will interfere with the finish of the skin tint, if that makes sense. I'm going to be using this duo stippling brush. Now, my normal routine would be to use a beauty sponge to apply foundation or any base product, but because this is a skin tint, I feel like I'm just going to waste a lot of product. And by the way, you get 13 mils in this bottle. And also, I've been watching a lot of those educational videos on TikTok from pro makeup artists, and they keep saying, like, you know, if you're using a skin tint or anything sort of like light coverage, use a duo stippling brush. So that's what I'm doing today. So again, I've got two shades here. I've got classic beige and golden beige. Looking at the mirror, I'd probably go with golden beige just because it's got more of a golden undertone. This one, classic beige, looks more neutral. So we'll do that much and see how far we can go with that. Ooh, okay. Okay, so that's one layer of that skin tint, and yeah, it's not bad. I feel like it's even at my skin tone. Like, obviously you can still see a lot of my imperfections sort of like peeking through. Probably need to touch more on my forehead, really, to get a little bit more coverage. But, you know, if you have pretty flawless skin and you just want a little bit of a tint, I think this is good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and build this up and see if it is buildable to that of, let's say, a light medium coverage foundation, or at least medium, because I feel like there's potential for this. Okay, so I think 2 layers of this, I was going to say foundation, but this skin tint is definitely giving me more light medium coverage. I don't know if I can actually build this up any further. I feel like it's not going to do too much, but let's try it anyway. Okay, we're definitely getting to the point where it's just too much product on the skin now, I feel, because definitely getting more streak marks. I do feel like it's building more coverage. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely looking more medium coverage for me now, so I'm actually pretty impressed. For something that's called a skin tint, it's actually quite buildable. Okay, so I think I've got equal amount of coverage on both sides. Now, this side obviously has been on my face for a little bit longer compared to this side, but as you guys can see, it's very dewy. I don't feel like it's going to set. In terms of does it feel oily or anything on the skin, to be completely honest, I can't tell. I wear full coverage foundation all the time, or like full coverage-esque foundation all the time, so I can't really tell if this foundation skin tint is heavy on the skin or not. But I can tell you I feel like it's not going to set, so I might have to actually really use that powder all over the face, which is, I suppose, going to be handy for this review. Okay, let's move on to the concealers. I've got 3 options to choose from, and to be completely honest, I don't really know which one I want to use because none of them seem to be my type of concealer. I prefer golden, light under eye, kind of like illuminating, but we'll see, maybe I can get one of these to work for me. So I have got fair, which is way too light. I have got tan, which is way too dark. Might be a nice little bronzing contour kind of effect maybe. And then I have light. Light seems to be the nice medium shade that I can probably work with. But this is sort of like peachy toned, which again, I'm not really a huge fan of. I do prefer golden yellow highlighters, yellow concealers, yellow based concealers to really illuminate my under eye, but hey, it's a first impressions. Let's see. Okay, definitely on the peach side of things. It's quite a watery consistency. Let's see. Okay, I feel like this is going to work. I feel like it's going to work. For this side I'm going to be using a beauty sponge. Okay, so that's one layer of the concealer and it's okay. I do prefer my full coverage, like I said, so I'm going to just add a little bit more of the concealer. I just grabbed the concealer that was on the back of my hand and I'm just going to bounce this on top. And yeah, it's definitely giving me the coverage that I need. The shade's just not my cup of tea, but you know, it works. Okay, so with this concealer, again, it's kind of similar to the skin tint. It doesn't really seem to be setting by itself. So if you have the tendency of creasing, definitely use a bit of powder. I'm going to be using the darker shade tan and see if I can use this to like maybe cream contour. Okay, I feel like it's actually the same colour as my foundation, but we'll see. I'm going to grab another brush, that way we don't have too much mixing. I've got this one from Sigma, Flat Kabuki. Okay, yeah, it's pretty much the same colour as the foundation. Or at least because it's so light coverage, it's not really giving me too much of a colour difference. Now let's move on to the powders. So I've got 3 shades to choose from. I've got translucent, which is just a white one that has no colour, at least, on the skin. And then we've got tan and medium. Maybe tan or medium, like tan or medium will work. Ooh, okay, this is tan. This one definitely looks like I could probably use it as maybe a powdered bronzer, but we'll see. Depends on the coverage that I get. And then I've got medium. I feel like medium is the one I'll be using to set my face. Grabbing this domed bronzer brush, but I'll use it as my powder brush. So I'm grabbing the shade medium. See how well this sets. Okay, that's pretty good. I feel like it has a decent amount of pigmentation as well. So if you use the skin tint and you want a little bit more coverage, just pat some of this powder on. But I was looking on the website as well, this is actually a good powder to use for touching up throughout the day. To which I will try out at some point in like how to get rid of oil kind of like videos, you know, like the ones I do on my Instagram. This powder definitely does have a decent amount of pigmentation on it. They did provide us with like a little powder puff thing, but I rarely ever use any of those, so I'm going to stick to brushes. Now I'm going to use tan, and I'm going to use that as my powder bronzer. Alright, let's try and use this to bronze. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, I feel like I need to use the translucent one for my under eyes just because I feel like the concealer it's just so creamy. It's probably just going to crease if I keep moving around without setting it. So I'm going to use the translucent shade. Let's see if I've got a clean brush. Let's try and dab this underneath. And set that nicely. I feel like everything hasn't really completely set. Yeah, like I feel like I have to add a little bit more powder actually. It might just be because I was using a brush. Maybe probably should have used the sponge or the puff thing to actually set, but I'm actually kind of digging this whole like really dewy look on the skin. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to quickly hop off camera, do the rest of my makeup, come back, and then we'll do the mascara so I can show you guys how well it will make my eyelashes pop essentially. So I've done my eyebrows, done my lips. I don't really think I need highlighter because my skin's just super glowy at the moment. So we're going to go straight into the mascara. I will zoom you guys in just so you guys can see my lashes up close and personal. So I do have fairly long curled lashes. So let's see what this formula is going to be like. So from just pulling it out of the tube, I can see that it's sort of a dry formula. I like how the brush tip is actually quite skinny, so I feel like I can definitely get into the inner corner lashes or outer corner lashes as well. So let's try this. So I'm going to do my normal method where I kind of like brush through the lashes first, like so, for the first layer, just to kind of separate the lashes because my lashes kind of grow in different directions. But yeah, that's one layer of the mascara. Actually not bad. Okay, so we've reached the last part of the video where I give you guys my first thoughts and impressions on the products that I've used so far. I am impressed. I'm not going to say super impressed, but I am definitely impressed with the results that I'm seeing. So let's start off first with the skin tint. I was going to call it the foundation again. The skin tint blew me away. I wasn't expecting this much coverage. I didn't think it was going to be this buildable. I have tried out different skin tints from different brands, and when they say skin tints, it's kind of like a tinted moisturizer with a little bit more coverage, but I can never get it to build up to this kind of coverage, which I am surprised. I mean, I have my 5 o'clock shadow still peeking through, but that's fine. I wasn't expecting it to completely cover it. But I will say I probably wouldn't use as much product as I did in the demonstration, mostly because this foundation skin tint is quite oily. I don't have particularly overly oily skin, to be completely honest. I do have an oily T-zone, but even though I've applied a light layer of powder, I still see it kind of like being really oily or a bit shiny. So I feel like maybe a light layer, maybe 1 pea size for the entire face, or maybe even 2, just to get me enough coverage would have been enough. Obviously I use what, 6 on my face, so yeah, I think it's definitely a rich formula, so it's going to be a little bit shiny, a little bit oily. I think if you have dry skin, you probably will enjoy it. Anyone that doesn't have dry skin probably will find it a little bit too hydrating for their skin. If I had to describe it, it kind of reminds me of a serum foundation. If you guys have ever tried any of those, it's kind of thicker, definitely a little more luminous on the skin, which I'm not hating. I just, probably a bit too much for my skin. Let's move on to the concealer. Now, with the concealer, it actually performed as I expected. It wasn't going to be full coverage. Again, the whole range isn't supposed to be full coverage. It's supposed to kind of like let your skin shine through still. So it made sense that it was giving me less coverage than what I was used to. So I can't really fault it for that. So again, I used the shade Light underneath the eyes. It gave me a really nice illuminated effect underneath the eyes. I do have a bit of concern with these concealers though, if it's going to be enough to, let's say, cover any spots. Like, if you have like actual acne or discoloration, I don't know how well it's going to cover, but maybe you can rely on the skin tint for most of it, and then this just to add a little bit of coverage, considering how buildable this product is. Moving on to the powders themselves, I don't really have much of an opinion, to be completely honest, about the powders. I mean, the colours are pretty good. I don't know about shine oil control because I feel like I'm really shiny still despite using the brush. Maybe I should actually try the sponge. Maybe I get a different result. So I'm going to use the shade Medium, and this thing has, is that a sticker? No. Okay, so this is the actual puff. Maybe let's try that because I want to give this a good go. So that, like, really press it in maybe. Okay, definitely a lot more coverage compared to when you use the brush. Okay, actually not bad. Like, I feel like with this, I don't even know what this is. It feels kind of weird. It doesn't feel like a normal puff. It actually provides a bit more coverage. So yeah, I'll give you guys a bit of an update on that. Like I said, I don't really have too much of an opinion just yet because I don't really feel like I've seen anything too dramatic with this powder just yet. Now let's move on to the unexpected star of this range, or at least from this little demonstration I've got here. It's the mascara. I am actually quite impressed with the results. Like, I keep looking in the mirror and my lashes look really, really good, and not many mascaras can actually get me this kind of look. It has to be sort of like a drier formula for me, to be honest, for me to get this sort of like look. This is definitely up there with all my favourite mascaras, so hopefully it lasts well throughout the day. So I'm going to be wearing this to work over the next few days and see if this will smudge, as well as the skin tint and everything. But yeah, I'm obsessed with this mascara, and it's also conditioning, so if I can wear this sort of like on the daily and it's conditioning my lashes, I think it's a win-win situation, really. But yeah, there you guys go. That's my first impressions on these products from the Kind and Free range from Rimmel London. If you guys have tried out these products, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are down in the comment box down below. If you guys would like a link where to buy these, I'll have some down in the description box down below if you guys live in Australia. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Don't forget to check out my other social media accounts, which will be linked down below if you guys haven't checked them out yet. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!